yours?
Perfect.
Oh, probably. Yeah. Just toss it.
Nice hands.
Nice catch, Jack.
Heck yeah.
Athlete.
I don't curse.
Well,
Heckin' yeah.
Just leave Bruce in the middle, man. That's where he belongs.
You guys see Bruce okay?
It's like a good color scheme for Bruce.
Yeah. All right.
Real film
Episode-
fanatics will know.
Episode
Episode 3, yep.
I've only done 3 of these.
We've only done 3 of these.
Feels like we've done like 20. Yeah.
So you're an old pro.
we did
Yeah.
record like 3 before we started posting it.
Oh, is this one for the scrap heap like those?
Yeah, we're not posting this
Okay,
today.
got you. Okay. The pressure's off.
Yeah, we've got a really special guest today. Very special. Very, very special.
It is great
And
to
his
have you
name
here.
is Scott Dodd.
No. We're actually here to interview you
That's correct.
because you didn't get the memo on the
Okay.
outfit.
All right, I just have two things before we start. Well, we've started. We've officially started recording.
Okay.
2 things. One is how many throwing knife kills or axe kills have you gotten all time? Do you know this number?
Over 250,000 across multiple Call of Duties.
That's absolutely absurd.
Was number 1 for knife kills on Modern Warfare 3 for a while. There, I said it. Since you asked.
That's crazy.
I'm mind blown right now.
Hey, thanks, man.
That's insane.
Which
Now ask me how many I've missed.
is that?
Nope.
Is that a number that you can look at?
Oh, it's millions.
Oh,
Speaking of, okay, so
which leads into the intro of who this man is.
this leads into, let's see if you can do it in real life. So there's a really sharp throwing
Is
knife.
that a plastic? Oh, wow. Okay.
Are you gonna hold that in front of your face?
Don't hit me in the eyes.
You ready? 3, 2. Oh, shit. Almost got that in the outlet.
Wait, what? You didn't even throw it, did you?
What do you
We're
mean?
behind?
Most of my skills don't translate to real life.
Wait, so you're not a dead shot with a sniper?
Here,
Not even in
You can
game.
keep that.
Oh, thanks.
It's a souvenir.
Fun little memorabilia.
He's gonna go home and practice all night now. He's gonna come back for a second episode.
Yeah,
Pretty good.
Slinging knives.
just dead shot.
Yeah. I can't remember what the number 2 is. Oh, number 2. So, special guest, SlayedByBlade, 250,000 knife or axe kills in real life.
Oh, my gosh.
Not in real life, but then we got another special guest, Scott,
I'm back.
the crazy one in the office. In case you've seen some of our other reels,
Oh yeah,
talking to himself.
yeah. Slowly losing my mind,
No,
staring at
Scott's not
spreadsheets
crazy.
and whatnot. But
Scott's not crazy.
yeah, the content is fun,
Yeah.
and doing stuff like this is pretty entertaining. So I'm glad that we've got some fun stuff moving around here.
Yeah. All right, Slade, you're going to give us an intro to the podcast, but it's going to be like it's a Bruce Lee movie trailer. So, on the spot.
I was pretending to have seen anything with Bruce Lee in it earlier, so I will be
I can't tell you a movie that Bruce Lee was in right now.
I'll be of little to no help for that. Don't
It's
fuck this
something like Emerald Dragon.
Karate Kid.
No, that's definitely not it.
up. The series,
He's not in any of those.
Cobra Kai films.
It's definitely a TV show.
Oh, that's right.
Maybe. Anyways, you don't have to do that. That was a really stupid way to intro this, but Scott's going to take over from here. Yeah.
My lord.
Looking
Okay.
forward to that.
So, episode 3 of the GLITCHCAST. We got a special guest with us, SlayedByBlade, our good friend. I actually got to meet you for the first time when we came down to Nashville, or I came down to Nashville. I hadn't moved down here yet.
Right.
For Tyler's 4th of July party. So, you're not from here originally. Where are you originally from?
South Carolina.
Okay. And then when did you get down here?
The tail end of 2021.
Gotcha. And what made the move for you?
My girlfriend's job is here physically, and COVID kind of turned my content creation stuff into a full-time job over that first year. So I felt comfortable kind of taking that leap and just decided to move here and do that full-time. And so far, I do not regret that decision.
Yeah. What'd you do before this?
I was a marketing coordinator.
Okay, so still kind of goes hand in hand.
Oh, yeah.
I had to do quite a bit of content creation before.
For sure.
And I was just looking at it earlier today, but you're going into year, 12 or 13 now of content creation?
Yep. Some of it better than others.
That's crazy.
Well, you're going to learn over time, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
things are slowly going to get better.
For sure.
I think we're seeing that as we start to do some of this stuff, too. But what kind of like helped you take off? Like, what was the biggest train? Like, obviously, COVID and everybody kind of getting shut down means that you've got more downtime to start putting more time into content creation. But like, where do you feel like you fully hit your stride?
Yeah, I want to know about the decision to go full time too, because that's like, I feel like every up and coming creator has that. Like, when do I make the leap? And like,
It's like a light bulb moment.
yeah,
Sure. I think that it was a pretty perfect storm, which is maybe an inappropriate way of putting it, with COVID being part of the availability of people's eyes to be watching stuff that I was doing YouTube wise, stream wise, because everybody was at home for a while. And also, Modern Warfare 2019 was an incredible Call of Duty, which we took for granted at the time, and we know now that it was really good after some of these other releases that have taken place. So that kind of snowballed into giving me the opportunity to consider it, because I was putting 40 hours a week into my full-time job, and then I was also streaming whenever I got home, and I was noticing that I was making more money doing that than I was at my full-time job without giving it my full attention. So I thought, if I start to give this my full attention, maybe I could turn this into a full-time job for now, at least,
yeah.
And
That seems to be where a lot of people are too. Because I remember when you were talking with Tyler, it was very similar for him, where he was comparing paychecks and he's like, "Wait a second, why am I going to work at this factory when I'm making the same amount of money playing video games with my friends and making videos off of it?"
Yeah.
Like it just makes sense.
You're right.
Cut that out.
leave it in.
Not cutting it out.
My
Part into
Can
Lord.
you get up to the mic closer when you do that?
Just start coughing into it aggressively. I've got one question. Have you always been Slayed by Blade? Like, is that what you've always gone by?
No, actually, that's funny you asked that, because like last week it came up that my username used to be Retrology, which was just something that I thought sounded cool when I was in middle school.
Okay.
And it came up
cool.
in front of Wildcat, and Wildcat was like, "Well, that's horrible." So yeah, we've moved beyond that now.
Everybody's got to start somewhere. Like my favorite rapper is Logic, and he used to go by Psychological. And they're like,
yeah.
that's trash. And he's like, all right, well, let's just shorten this up a little
You
bit.
should go back to Retch Logic.
I would, but it would be problematic because it's a clothing line now for women. So
Wow.
sure. Now, was I ahead of my time? Yes.
Or
Well,
maybe you stole it from the clothing line.
No, I was there first.
So did it go straight from Retrology
Yes,
to Slayed by Blade?
it did.
Okay. And I'm assuming the knife kills probably goes hand in hand with that.
Yeah. Back then, I watched a lot more Call of Duty YouTube myself instead of making things, and I watched a lot of people that played knife only. And the community that surrounded that play style always had usernames that were knife centric. So
Gotcha.
I felt like an outcast.
So you
before I
had,
changed my
you had
username.
to change it up if you're going to hang out with the gang.
Right. Yeah. So I came up with something that rhymed, even if it was grammatically incorrect, and rolled with it from there.
Love it. What was your first username?
I don't think it's appropriate for the podcast.
Oh, wow.
Jesus.
Well, okay. It was Big Red Johnson 44. My last name is Johnson. I've got red hair.
And he is a very large human.
Yeah, and I'm
The
6 foot.
44
I'm
is in
6'6".
reference to-
That was my college basketball number.
Gotcha.
So, well,
Okay.
and my grandpa's birth year before that.
Okay,
But then it ended up being my college basketball number too.
I think
so.
that makes sense.
It's
I
just
like it.
sentimental to me. Yeah. That
Yeah.
sounds beautiful.
I
Thank
did.
you.
I did Lottie Dodd 369 because my dad's nickname in college was Lottie because it was a rap song and I cannot remember the group for the life of me, but it's Lottie Dottie. We like to potty. We don't cause trouble. We don't bother nobody. And so they called him Lottie Dodd. And so I was like, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
So and then 369 off of the Great American Philosophers Yin Yang Twins. So
Gotcha.
Wow.
I feel like I know a lot of people that when I was growing up, they would center their usernames around their parents' names.
Big Puffer.
Sure. Before, like, some people pick their username, I guess, like, before they have developed their own, like,
Personality.
like nicknames and stuff. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'll just go off of what my dad had, I guess.
It worked. And like anytime we would play split screen and he would join, he's like, oh, this is fun. Like, this is my nickname. We get to do this.
Oh,
together.
that's nice, yeah.
This is cool.
I'm using one of these straws.
So what was, I'm feeling like Call of Duty is probably the answer, but what is your current favorite game and what is your all-time favorite game?
All-time favorite game is The Last of Us 1, the
Okay.
first game.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. And then my current game that I play for my job is Call of Duty. Yeah. I don't feel comfortable saying that Modern Warfare 2022 is my favorite game currently.
Yeah. That makes sense. Do you stray outside of that at all, or for like content creation, or are you just purely Call of Duty?
I try, and I look at the other games that I play as networking opportunities.
Yeah.
So I include that footage towards the end of my YouTube videos as a way
Mm-hmm.
of introducing variety. But my viewership is more comfortable with me playing Call of Duty, so I do that primarily.
Gotcha.
But like on other platforms and stuff, just for fun, I'll go live at like 2 a.m. and play Minecraft or something.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And then what all platforms can people find you on right now? Like you Twitch stream, you do YouTube,
Yeah.
you're active on Twitter. Absolutely appreciate your Twitter game.
X.
Ooh.
You meant what I knew. It's fine.
I'm kidding.
I think that's censor worthy, actually. I think you should cut that out.
Triple X.
You're actively on Twitter. Bleep doesn't know.
Every time I say X, Jack just bleeps it.
I'm actively Xing on X at the moment. Yeah, no, I mean, I make videos for YouTube and I stream on Twitch and then I post unhinged thoughts on Twitter. I mean, X sometimes.
I don't know why I heard I post on Hinge.
Well, that's not for public info. That's more so just a personal pastime.
All right, I want to know all the details of when you first got into content until where you are now. Like, I want to know the whole story.
Yeah,
right?
because I feel like a lot of people also have the question of like, how'd you get here? How'd you like gain your audience? Like, what does that kind of look like if somebody wants to start doing that?
Sure. I mean, I think anybody is molded by their early experiences. So my grandfather was super into just shooting family video all the time, and I developed like a fondness for cameras and an interest in producing media that way. And then I also really enjoyed playing basketball. So I used to watch like, Dude Perfect-esque videos all the time when I was younger. So me and my friends in my neighborhood would make like videos like that, with obviously far less impressive shots, and also we weren't allowed to post them because our parents were, we grew up in the era of like, you can't go on the internet. There are scary people on the internet. So
Stranger danger everywhere.
right. So I just had footage of us goofing around on a camera and never did anything with it, but always had like the hope of doing that sort of thing. And also always had the hope of playing basketball more and more. But when I was in middle school, I broke my back playing basketball. Yeah.
Jeez.
So I was in a back brace for 18 months and I started,
Dear Lord.
I started, playing video games because there wasn't much else to do for a bit. And that's when I really started making YouTube videos and taking that more seriously. And then as I got better, I tried out for the basketball team one more time. And like, even while I was trying out for it, I was like, I don't even want to do this. Like I'm just doing this because this is what I've always done.
Did you
and
forget
then,
how much the running sucks?
No. I did forget how much I sucked at basketball though. So
Basketball's hard.
it is hard. I got cut, and when I got cut, I walked off and I was like, this is fine. I can finally focus on making YouTube videos and stuff like that. So it all, snowballed from early childhood.
So we're, I think, right around the same age, if I remember correctly. You're like 27, 28, 29?
You're 45. Yeah, I'm 28 now.
28, as am I. And Scott, you're 27.
Yep.
So
January.
all very similar time periods.
Mhm.
Talk to me about when Modern Warfare 2 first came out and what, like, because the peak, at least from what I remember, was like
Junior, senior
7th
year?
to 9th grade, like maybe 10th grade.
Sure.
Was like the
My
maybe,
time frame is off.
maybe like 8th grade to 9th grade was like kind of like that summer going into it. At least for me, it was like that was like peak Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah. Well, I was actually a Christmas noob on Modern Warfare 2. I had not played or owned an Xbox 360 prior to that. My first FPS was Combat Arms, so I was a PC gamer before I switched to console. So I feel like I did it backwards. Like I feel like I was regressed by my friends. They made me get a console, and obviously I appreciated that at the time. But so that game came out, all my friends were playing it. I got lonely on Combat Arms. There was nobody playing that, it's just me. So I got one of those for Christmas. The day after that, I realized I needed a Wi-Fi adapter, so I didn't actually play on Christmas. That's like a fond memory of mine too. Is like, gosh, this is a racket. All the different things I had to buy in order to get on that game.
Did you have high speed internet at the time?
No.
Yeah.
Mom, get off the phone. I'm playing RuneScape. But I got on that and was Retrology on there. I made my username and everything.
Incredible name, by the way.
Thank you so much. I heard they make great clothing. But yeah, I mean, I have a ton of nostalgia for MW2. That's where I met some of my friends that I have known for a super long time now. A lot of the people that I'm meeting now, I have only met more recently after moving and taking this stuff more seriously. But I had a friend that I met on Xbox 10 years ago playing Modern Warfare 2, come visit Nashville last weekend. And, you know, I was just like, let's
That's
go
crazy.
check out all these restaurants and stuff. Known him online for forever. One of my best friends. And it's cool to see that all come full
It is
circle.
wild to me because like growing up, most of the people that I spent time with were the ones that I played sports with, and then we ended up playing video games together online, and so it was kind of like we worked in the opposite direction. But then now being in this community, it's wild the amount of people that know each other from across the country, and they don't physically meet until after they've known each other for like 5 years.
Yeah.
It's mind blowing.
Well, that's
It's a
that
whole
stranger
different world.
danger again, too. You know, it's
I
good
guess
that
that's
you
fair.
wait that 5 years to figure out, like, is this guy going to.
Start looking him up. Does he have any weird past?
Yeah, you
Right,
wait till the
right.
background check goes
Yeah.
through, and then
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
My
No.
private eye got back to me, and I was like, all right, this guy can come hang out.
Modern Warfare 2, though, was like you said, it was like peak for us, 8th, 9th, maybe sophomore year. I remember I had kind of like the same story where I got my first console when Modern Warfare 2 came out.
Mhm.
We had to actually hook up an Ethernet cable from under our house to the back of the router. And so my dad, on like either Christmas Day or the day after Christmas, got his ass under the house to put a line
is-
into my room and a line into my brother's room. And he was playing on a PS5 or a PS3. I was playing on an Xbox 360 so that we could play with all of our friends who had different consoles.
So relatable.
And then we could split screen everything. Like if you wanted to go play with my friends, he would join my room and then vice versa. But yeah, it was absolutely wild. And then I had World at War after I got Modern Warfare 2 because we didn't know that zombies existed until that
Ooh.
point.
Honestly, I think I had the same experience. Like,
Yeah.
you got to kind of revisit some of the ones that came out prior to
Yeah.
your understanding. Yeah, that's
And then
awesome.
the Modern Warfare maps, like the first Modern Warfare maps, were some of my favorite. And so like we went back and we got that one too. And people would sometimes be in the lobby or sometimes not. Like it just depended on the day.
Yeah, and those are all coming back.
What's the first video game you remember playing ever?
Zombies Ate My Neighbors on the Super Nintendo.
Wow.
My dad owned a
Wow.
Super Nintendo, and I don't know
That's
why,
sick.
because I've never seen him play a video game ever, but he did own one. And I played that, and it gave me nightmares, and then I was not allowed to play it anymore because you know what I mean? It was terrifying to me as a child. But
Yeah.
I think the first one was Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo, but the first console that we actually like owned as a family was an N64, and it was
Is there Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo?
there's
Yeah.
a
Wow.
2D Super
it's
Nintendo.
I didn't even know
so
that.
bad.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
when you look at it today, like when you go back to play it, it's kind of nostalgic, but when you look at it today, it's like it's rough. But
It's just like a concept that predated the technology almost.
yeah,
Like it just
to be able to turn.
like they,
have a
they probably
different
had to
view.
invent the N64 to be like, this game idea is really cool. We should make something that can actually do it.
Put it in 3D, see what happens.
Yes. Yes.
That's too funny.
Trying to think. Yeah. So I my brother's 8 years older than me. So growing up, like he played video games too. So
Did he
it
ever
was like-
hand you the controller that wasn't plugged in?
Yeah, well, he wouldn't. He did not let me play with him and his friends very often. If
Didn't
you can
even look
imagine,
at
you know? Yeah, no, I don't even know his middle name. You know, no, I'm just kidding. But I remember him playing GoldenEye on N64, and him letting me play occasionally, and me just dying every single time because I'm like a 9-year-old.
Dude,
that's
playing his
trying-
odd job and just throwing hats at people the whole time.
No,
Elite.
And then he got an Xbox
Throwing knife of-
with the original Halo, and that was an experience. I remember like it was in our basement. We had like an unfinished basement, and we had like an old TV down there, and that's where he kept his Xbox, and we'd go down and just like play Halo all the time. That was very nostalgic for me.
Like I guess same on our side. So my brother's a year older than me, and then we have a little sister who's 12 years younger than me, and so she always wanted to hang out with us. And like when we were working out in the garage, she would grab like some of the little dumbbells and do like deadlifts and stuff. It was so cute. But she would come in and hang out with us, and we would just hand her the other controller, and there'd obviously just be the two screens, and she feels like she's doing something. And it's hysterical to watch.
Sure.
She gets so excited.
On the note of content creation, one question I had too was, you know, as there's a lot of people that are going to watch this podcast from the glitch community that like are aspiring content creators, people that like, you know, maybe they are already streaming, already making content for YouTube, maybe making short form content as well. But you know, they're trying to break through some of that like velocity of once you have some traction, it's a lot easier to build it. I feel like on the content
Absolutely.
side, and like it's really tough to grow on Twitch alone, right? Like you can't
100%.
like that's not how you grow your Twitch channel.
Don't do
right?
that.
So yeah, what do you have to say like advice wise for up and coming aspiring creators, streamers, people that are going to be listening to this that see you and see your success thus far, and like how you kind of, you know, went from a marketing career to full-time content, like what does that look like and what advice do you have?
Yeah, I think that the background in marketing carries, and I think that if you look at it that way, even if that isn't your background, that's a great way to kind of look at yourself as a product that you're trying to get people interested in instead of just I'm a person playing video games. Like I think that that is the approach a lot of people have, and maybe that's not the best way to go about it initially anyways. I would certainly suggest posting on other social media platforms instead of just streaming on Twitch. Obviously, I remember again that COVID era, like so many people just streaming Fortnite for 10 hours a day to nobody at all, and that's just not a way to go about it when, you know, there is also accessibility at, you know, the tip of our fingertips with, you know, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, things like that. Just taking clips that you think are interesting or enjoyable and posting those and trying to direct people towards your platform instead of sitting there waiting for people to come to you, which is, I think, the risk that a lot of people run if they stream too much. So I always recommend people stream maybe twice a week for 2 hours max and just take the footage and clips that you like from that and create a YouTube video or a short or something to post on socials. Because if you're streaming for that long and you're not saving something that you think is worth sharing on another platform, then maybe that's what you need to reassess first. You know, what games am I playing? Who am I playing with? Things like that. Because, you know, if you want to get into the nitty gritty of it, like those are factors as well. Like, obviously, I'm super fortunate to network with the people that I know now, and I can jump on a game and I know I'm going to save something because I'm surrounded by people that I think are hilarious and I feel like I can bounce ideas off of and stuff like that. But not everybody has that initially. So looking for people that you feel like are good partners in that way is also helpful. Like like-minded people that want to make cool stuff and entertain other people is huge. And it doesn't have to be like that. Like, you don't have to stop being friends with people, but some people you play games with for certain reasons, and some people you play other games with for other reasons. So.
Sure. Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense.
And I feel like the name of the game with content creation is like referrals and exposure, right? Because if somebody finds you funny, then they'll send your clip to their friend. Sure. And then that friend's like, oh, this is funny, and they send it to their next 4 friends.
Just making shareable, entertaining content.
Exactly. Right? And like you said, in this day in Instagram and TikTok, like you're watching people at your fingertips for probably hours on the day. Like I would say most people probably spend 3 hours looking at like a TikTok and Instagram and Twitter. Like anytime people have downtime. I was listening to another podcast. Yeah.
It was like an exercise in siphoning gas.
Okay. That is gas though.
I was
a great flavor. Nova Pop's in there.
I was watching, it was Bo Burnham who was actually sitting on a panel, and he talked about how now that like real estate is no longer, this is a weird tangent, now that like real estate is no longer like ground level, the real estate that we're looking for in society is your attention.
I've seen this.
And so the more that you can capture somebody's attention, the more that you get their investment from them, and then the more that they're going to invest that attention to other people around them. And so rather than trying to trap you in like sales, they're trying to trap you in your phone. And so if you can keep somebody entertained for a prolonged period of time, and like we talk about in marketing stuff all the time, like hook, retain, reward, capture their attention in the first 30 seconds, and they're going to stick around for the rest of the video. The more that you can do that, the more that they're going to share that with other people, the greater exposure you get. And then like you said too, like the network that you create, some of the people that you play with, like knowing Tyler probably gives you a little bit of clout. And then like
I want to dive in. No, not at all. Not at all.
I don't even know who that is.
I want to dive into the one.
Never seen that man in my life.
One piece of advice you gave is like essentially stream less. Like I think a lot of people 100%. Are like, oh, I gotta like when I get off work, I gotta go live as soon as I can, stream for 6 hours every single night, stay up late, and then do it everything again over the next day. And like that's probably one of the best pieces of advice that I've heard from you to up and coming content creators or streamers, right? Like you got to work on all of the other skills that it takes to be successful as a creator outside of just going live, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many people that want to just play the games and they don't know how to edit, or they don't know how to like actually present themselves on other platforms and stuff like that. So, initially people are way too early looking to hire somebody to make their content for them, instead of developing their own style and voice and stuff like that. So as robotic as it sounds to, talk about like the amount of attention that you can hold and stuff like that. Like consistency is the way that happens.
Yeah.
And then the way you get people invested in something is by producing something that is entertaining, but also like looks like you are having a good time as well. So you should
Makes
find things
authentic,
that you
yeah.
enjoy and authentically enjoy, and then also work on packaging that in a way that is interesting to watch. So
if somebody starts in like, let's say like they get into Twitch and they start doing the YouTube creation and they start to see like a pretty decent like paycheck coming in from Twitch, how would you balance not streaming too much to make sure that you're not letting off on the other content creation? Because if they get up to that point where they're at like that 70-30 split, right, rather than like the 50-50 or whatever it used to be,
right.
like I look at that and as a creator, I'm probably like, this looks pretty enticing. If I keep doing this, I keep getting subs, I keep saying like, this could help me out.
Sure.
Versus, you know, trying to start leveraging your TikTok or Instagram more. Like how would you go about balancing that?
Well, I would start by saying the 70-30 split stuff is so like impacting such a small amount of streamers. Like there's 2% of people that maintain that sub count for 3 months in a row. So I don't think about that.
Yeah.
If you're starting with that goal in mind
Yeah.
solely, then maybe you're doing it for the wrong reasons. But
Okay.
I think that if you are already there, then you probably already are posting on other socials.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
guess
Like
that
that
makes
following
sense.
already exists. But I would say, you know, to get back to the core of the question about like time management and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I think focusing on getting enough content from that amount of time could be the way to go about thinking about how you're going to produce the stuff for other socials anyway. So instead of
That
going,
makes
I need
sense.
to stream X amount of time, maybe think about, you know, what you are able to glean from a certain amount of time that you set aside for yourself. Like you plan in advance.
That makes sense because you're almost thinking about mass producing content in just those 2 streaming sessions, or
Right.
or 3 streaming
Like
sessions.
what can
a
I
week.
accomplish in that time allotted instead of I'm going to go as long as I can and get as much as I can. Because, you know, that's a great way to burn yourself out too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we're going to get like maybe 10 to 20 clips off this podcast too.
Yeah.
Post them on social.
Same
so,
concept.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Exactly.
Do we have
no.
any yet? No, we don't. All right.
Nothing good yet.
Understood.
So
I'm happening.
on the skill stacking side of things, there's like stacking the right amount of skills, no matter whether you're like, and I think you're as much of an entrepreneur as I am when we started Glitch. Like it's just a different industry and a different medium, right?
Sure.
And so, but I think some of the like force multiplier there is skill stacking. So like when we first launched Glitch, like I had to figure out how to do everything, right? And like I had to, you know, or find someone early on. Like it just depends like where you're at. I think if you have no capital and you have a lot of time, then you have the ability to go and acquire skills that are valuable. And then when you stack different skills, say editing or thumbnails, Photoshop, etc. Like what are some of those skills that you would recommend like somebody just getting started that maybe they're really, really good at video games, but they have no skills on content? Like how, and I think there's a lot of people out there like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like growing up, like I remember playing with people that like I was okay and I was competitive. Like I wanted to be really good at video games, but some of my friends were just incredible. Like,
Sure.
I mean, like at the time, like they were going to MLG tournaments and then like winning some actual money and, but they didn't do anything with content, right?
Right.
Shout out to all our parents who told us that we couldn't make money playing video games growing up.
Yeah,
and so I
BS.
didn't dive into playing video games for a career.
Yeah, I know. What do you think like that skill stack looks like as you kind of progress as a creator?
I mean, I think like you said, I got super comfortable with Photoshop really early on. So I make my own thumbnails. And I may or may not have cracked a couple programs when I was younger and got access to things. I would never suggest anyone
Okay.
do that.
No clue what you're talking
Because
about.
you don't need to, because DaVinci Resolve is free and it's a great editing software, and that is not an ad, but it is free. So I would recommend that to people.
Or you can just use AI for everything, right, Jack? Yeah.
There's actually nobody behind the camera. This is strictly AI.
Jack's sitting there, but AI is just every AI is doing everything. No, I'm just
Wouldn't even
kidding.
worry about
I'm
it.
just kidding. No, that's a sore spot for Jack. Well, I'm with you on most of
It's
those
not a
points. Yeah.
sore spot. You just talk about it so much that
I know.
I don't want to hear it anymore.
Yeah.
I think AI is great for ideation, but like when you take out the humanistic approach to like artwork and stuff like that, it starts to get a little weird.
I would look at that the same way that I mentioned hiring someone else to do other work for you in general. If you're starting that segment of your career too early, like you're just missing out on the opportunity to develop your own voice and stuff like that. So could you use it as a way to, you know, like you said, like produce some ideas or maybe even give yourself some reference points? Possibly. But I think the more of yourself that you put into content, the more authentic it feels as well. And the more people are going to appreciate that in the long run. But yeah, editing, Photoshop, like those are the core mechanics of at least the YouTube algorithm, right? Like that's how you're gonna catch people's eye, get somebody to click on something, and like you mentioned earlier, if you can retain that attention for X amount of time. But yeah, there are so many people that are actually just disgustingly good at video games, but they don't have either the drive or the know-how to like turn that skill into something that people want to watch. So I don't know. I think that's a very individualized question. Like there are so many people that have that skill set, but also maybe they aren't the best at like interacting with people while they're live, or maybe
I was gonna
they're
say
not.
a lot of it feels like it has to be personality too.
Sure,
because
yeah.
like when you go in and watch your videos and you see like people commenting in the chat and whatever, like they're like truly interacting with you, and like you also do have just a very calm and soothing voice while you're playing.
Yeah, I'm the best.
So,
Can you lean up to that mic a little bit more?
so it does make you feel like very engaged.
Thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast.
The rest of the podcast is going to be an ASMR podcast. Is there an ASMR podcast? There has to be.
There has to be.
I don't
Millions,
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I'm sure people probably fall asleep to that every night.
Did we just invent ASMR?
Oh my gosh.
Cancel the energy drink thing.
Thank you for coming to the podcast.
Oh my God.
Okay. I'm not.
No, but you were saying something about how great I am, I think.
Yeah, no,
I hate that we cut you off.
Fantastic.
No,
yeah.
no, go
If you
ahead.
could-
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
I'm gonna,
No, but like a lot of it is for sure personality. Like like your style is 1000% different from Puffer. Like when we were watching Puffer's live stream when we did his drop, he was yelling at all of his subs saying like, "Stop giving me your money," and
Sure.
they just kept subscribing to him. And like you interact with your people and like you're laughing at the chat while you're playing, which is also something that I think is incredibly impressive, is that you have the ability to sit here and read this whole conversation going on and talk to the individual people that you're playing with while you're also in the middle of the game. Like I am such a one-track brain that I can't do that same concept.
Sure, but you're like a physical trainer. You can exercise and talk to somebody while you're also explaining to them all the benefits
I guess
of what it
it's-
is you're.
Yeah.
I have been
Can't, no.
I have been
Yeah.
playing video games
Yeah.
in the way that you've been working out and actually bettering yourself physically.
I
So I don't
guess
even have to
that's
think
fair.
about video games.
Yeah, like-
I'm talking to people.
But as a trainer though, like I explain to them the exercise and what they're doing, and then I talk to them while they're doing it, and
Sure.
so they don't worry about like counting or anything. They just stay in the middle of their conversation, do their reps. I'm like, all right, now it's time to
Gotcha. Okay, never mind. What you do is easy,
Scott knows how to count for me too. I lose count every single
Yeah.
time.
and we
Just like-
appreciate that.
Yeah,
I
whenever
ask
they
you
run
8
out,
times in a
yeah,
row.
the answer is always 2 more, because that's usually about the time when they ask how like they're starting to get tired, they're starting to get to failure.
That's such a good method, though.
So 2 more is like, this is when you're probably gonna fail. We're just gonna do 2 more because I also lost count. My
Sure.
bad.
All right.
I was really
That
wrapped
was the
in this
first time I've heard
conversation.
that, by the way.
Yeah.
Thanks for lying to me.
I
all
take
these-
back everything
all
I
these
said
words.
about him being
Yeah.
good at whatever I said.
Doesn't even know how to count. No.
He just lies to you.
Yep, the
and
whole
it's
time.
for your benefit.
If you can still talk, you got 2 more in the tank.
That's fair.
That's a good way to put that. Yeah.
I live my life that way.
All right, on the topic of health and fitness and then gaming, like a lot there's a stereotype obviously in the gaming space where like that it's health and wellness and gaming are mutually exclusive, right?
Right.
Which isn't actually the case.
No.
But I think it's something that, even talking with Tyler Wildcat recently about just, he sat in a chair for 8 years straight without really, working out much. And then, he had back problems
Right.
that he's really been dealing with, which he's been doing a great job of kind of fixing those
Mm-hmm.
after 8 years of sitting in a chair. Maybe a good chair helps too. But where's your
Do you
head
have
go
any
when you
plugs
when
for
you
a good
think
chair?
about?
Dude, I have had the same DX Racer for like 8 years. I should buy a new chair
Wow.
today. I should leave this room and buy a new chair. From Herman Miller.
Yeah, those are
Hashtag.
those are great.
Yeah, I don't know. They're expensive.
Yeah, they are.
Back to your question. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Tangent alert.
It's okay. Where does your head go when you think about like health and wellness and then the gaming space? Like how are you thinking about that and longevity as a creator? Because like you said earlier, burnout's a real thing, right?
Yeah.
Whether you're streaming or whether you're working or whatever you're doing, like I think a lot of it comes down to longevity, right? And
Absolutely.
How do you think about that from a health and wellness standpoint as a content creator?
It all goes back to the time management discussion we've had, right? So I suggest streaming less. What can you do with that extra time? Maybe put that into focusing on yourself a bit. Also, one big change that I made during COVID was I bought a standing desk and like one of those walking treadmill pads. And
Nice.
so anytime I edit a YouTube video, I am
Moving
walking
while you're doing it.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
just something like that is nice. And it like, honestly, I don't know about you guys, but have you ever just sat in a chair so long that like you're like, I'm hurting myself. I know I'm hurting myself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So-
Yeah.
More often than I'd like
Yes.
to admit.
Yeah.
And then your eyes start to bleed too.
Right,
You feel
right.
like they're bleeding. And
No,
Literally yesterday,
bleeding. Yeah.
I left and I was like, I need to go get a workout in. And then the moment that I sat down on my couch, I was like, I'm going to go to sleep early and I'll do it in the morning. Like my brain is mashed potatoes right now. I can't do it.
Sure. So just little things like that. It's
Yeah.
nice because you know that you're doing something good for you and you're still technically focusing on that thing that you actually want to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, would I recommend going to the gym? Sure.
Sure.
But sometimes it's not accessible. Sometimes it's not affordable. So just doing little things like that. Got a pull-up bar, that you just put on the door frame.
Oh, yeah.
Little things like
Yeah.
that go a long way.
yeah, what do you have to say about that, Scott? Obviously, like you're a personal trainer
Mhm.
and you have a lot of brain power around helping people
Something
be
like that.
healthy. You
Yeah.
know,
Lying
was a
to
weird
them
way to
about
say
the amount of
that.
reps they've
Yeah.
done.
you have intelligence in this area. What would you say to somebody that, well, I don't want to, I don't want to spend money on a membership or
Yeah.
gym equipment or, how do I, like, where do I start? What's some little things that people can take away from this that,
Yeah,
Would
I
help them.
think nowadays, and especially with where technology is at, you'll find that there's like a bunch of free apps that you can get through Google or iPhone where they'll provide free programming. You can probably look up a bunch of stuff online, honestly, following some fitness influencers, not the people who tell you to do keto because they're all liars. But there's so much content out there nowadays. And I also think like do your own research too and see like what is this person's background? Like, are they actually giving me good information? But I think the more that you can, like you said, just move your body, like
Yeah.
even if it's making sure that you're getting 10,000 steps a day and you're drinking enough water and, maybe make sure that half your plate is green. Like that's probably a good place to start. Get your proteins. Try not to eat all the carbs, but carbs are still good for you. Body weight exercise is great too. Like you go look at gymnasts, all they do is calisthenics and they're absolutely shredded. They do pull-ups and push-ups and leg lifts all day. Like you don't need a fancy gym. You don't need fancy equipment. If you have some dumbbells and some kettlebells and you're doing, a movement for each body part 3 times a week and you're moving 30 minutes a week with some resistance training and you're making sure that you get your steps in and you're eating right and you're drinking enough water, you're going to be in a good spot.
so like if somebody says, I'm really trying to not be a super skinny gamer, right?
Mhm.
And like
Little
which,
scrawny
like,
nerd.
yeah, a little scrawny nerd, right? Which I was one of those people in the past, and I remember we were showing you those pictures
Oh
the
my
other
gosh.
night.
Jake and I on Saturday, we were watching the Colorado and Colorado State game. And I don't know how we got on the conversation, but we were looking at pictures of us in middle school and he was twig skinny and I was a blueberry. I was the same width as I was height. It was bad.
Now we swapped.
Yeah.
Nice. Those look exactly the same.
Mustache and all.
Most people would argue I don't have one of those.
I love it.
You can see it on the camera though, so it's
Yeah.
there.
Can you turn towards the
Can we
camera?
get a zoom on
close up?
that? Can we get evidence that exists? All right, thank you so much. And if you could thicken it in post as well, Houston,
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Give him a full handlebar.
Just make
Yeah,
it
yeah.
straight
Hulk,
black.
Hulk,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hulk Hogan
I
style.
don't care. Do a Snapchat filter, whatever it takes. I'm desperate.
That's
over
gonna
here,
be the
please.
thumbnail. That's gonna be the thumbnail.
Just
Absolutely.
my top lip.
Yeah.
I was asked
Slade.
in chat a couple days ago if I was bulking. I'm not.
Does that feel like a compliment or an insult? When
I
somebody asks
I
that?
thought it was just a genuine concern for my safety.
She said, yeah.
No, I said bulking is when you plan on losing it later. I am gaining weight.
Welcome to the club. Yeah. Oh gosh. Okay, so changing directions a little bit. This one's a little bit more future oriented, but in the short term, how do you think AI in general is going to change like the gaming space? Like, what does that look like for you? I don't know, what do you envision AI doing to the gaming space, positive or negative, that is going to impact your career in some way or the other?
I mean, well, I only watch Quebblecop AI videos, so I feel as though I'm done already.
Are you going to QuebbleCon this year?
I will be attending alone. No, I don't know. I feel like I've seen so many cool like video editing things with AI. That's, obviously one of my interests is just like tech, like cameras and stuff and what you could do in post with AI. So I feel like that's really neat. I'm not super worried about somebody choosing to watch like a AI generated person just yet. I'm sure that's around the corner, but I think if we could develop like an appreciation for things that are made by people as a response to AI in general, I think that'd be cool, because it's not all bad. I certainly don't think it's all bad, but like I'm always going to want to support artists and creatives that are actually existing individuals.
It's a great answer, by the way. Yeah, or else Jack might have.
I'm towing the line here. I saw him holding
Here's
that.
the thing, though. Like we laugh about it. But
I'm in the same. I just want to set the record straight. I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
And that was mostly for Jack to hear.
Yeah. Well, there's an anvil over all of our heads right now, and he's holding scissors. So I thought it'd be good to just stay.
We're gonna have to shut down the business after this episode. Jack's gonna leave, and we're gonna have no visual design at all.
So we always joke like Jack is kind of robotic in himself, though.
I didn't.
No, he's not.
Oh. But when you watch some of the stuff that he can do with like Photoshop or Blender or whatever, like I'll walk in here and be like, hey, I need this. And then I'll go look at my computer for like maybe 5 minutes, come back, and it's already done. And my mind is just blown probably 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah, I've heard the legend of Scotty's tub design is being cranked out.
It took 15 minutes. We're
yeah.
on the call and we're trying to think of like the theme. And I go, well, what if we use like Miami Vice colors? Because like we'll go back to like the Orlando background.
Done. It's already done.
And Jack's like, all right, got it. And like the gradient and everything is already filled in. And I go, what if we do like some palm trees in the background? And like Scotty and Jake and I are talking, and then Jack just throws his screen back up and it's there. And he goes, all right, all I got to do is put the glitch branding on it, and then just and it's done. I was like,
well, the Sour Work Mountain label, that was right after Jack graduated, I think, like right around that.
The Sour Work Mountain was the second.
Oh, it was after Tyler's.
yeah, because he did Wild Cherry.
It was like the second. Well, that was like the first label that you actually did, because the Wild Cherry was already done, or mostly done, yeah. And he cranked that out in like a day because we needed it super fast, and it matches Marcel's branding like exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't know how he did it, but you know what it is probably. Is he just uses some AI plugins? You walk around the corner.
Listen,
there's only laughing on this side of the camera right now.
I've watched him do it, so I can go to bat for Jack and tell you that it is pure talent coming out of this
Jack,
corner.
I don't mean to flame you. Jack, I love you, okay?
I know.
And I hate AI, by the way.
I love ChatGPT.
Okay,
ChatGPT is beautiful.
It's like one or the other. Like you see something and it's like crazy. You just, like it blows your mind. It looks like magic. You see something else and you're like, yeah, this is like a really subpar way a human would have done this.
Yeah,
you know?
sure.
So I don't know. There is some issue on the IP, protecting artists and creatives, right? That's like a real big issue, especially like, and I think the gaming community as a whole, like. There's a lot of those people that have jobs right now in the gaming community that make their living off of art and design and editing and all of that stuff. So it's like it's a weird dynamic, like nobody's ever seen before, right? Like the internet is somewhat comparable, but like it's not, in some aspects too. So I don't know. What do you think about the virtual avatar side of things? I know you've been playing around with stuff there as well.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I love the idea of having like a character as part of your branding, and I'm all for that. And I have commissioned multiple artists to make different interpretations of that, and I have different ways of animating it, and I try and use it in as many ways as I can because I think it's fun, and also I think that like the creator and like the creation, like there's a separate amount of longevity between those two, and I think if you can establish something that people are interested in and try and build like a world around that thing that's probably going to outlast you as an individual. And so it's fun to try and make stuff like that could, be impactful.
Does your character have a name?
I honestly, the way it snowballed was I was so bad at Call of Duty on stream that I would get called a bot all the time. So I had an emote that was just a little robot. And then I started thinking about, well, I don't necessarily want to be like a VTuber and only have, a illustrated avatar, but I did want to have like a secondary branding mascot kind of thing. And then I started building a storyline around it. And so I just...
And a merch drop off of it, too.
Yeah.
You're looking good, by the way.
Was this planned?
Oh, I definitely planned to wear this. And then when I told him what I was wearing, he decided to wear the exact same outfit.
I did not know he was going to wear that.
It was planned.
I said that I was wearing some... I was really hoping he would show up in a three-piece tux, but here we are. Twins.
Yeah, I'm
still
actually
at the dry
sad
cleaners.
about which, back to branding, like, if you're a creator and like you want to go all in on sitting down every day in a 3-piece tux, like that might be your angle, and like it might be entertaining. Maybe the whole stream, all the branding is based on like suit and tie,
Yeah,
crazy stuff.
I have a friend that would wear a tie every stream, and I can't imagine doing that. But if you did it for only 2 hours,
is it a tie and a suit, or is it a tie on top of just like a?
No, he was
t-shirt?
wearing like an actual sports coat and everything. Like it was.
Yeah, I'm good.
I came from corporate finance before Glitch, and I wore a suit and tie every day for almost 3 years.
I haven't ever had a job where I had to wear pants, like sweatpants, shorts.
I was wondering why you were.
Yeah. No, I've never had to wear like real pants to work, and I'm A-okay with that.
Yeah, well, there's gonna be a pants rule.
You guys should probably implement some sort of dress code. Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, we're gonna get canceled for that.
You don't know what's going on in this
office.
table.
They don't wear pants.
They don't wear pants. Never.
It's a pants-free zone.
Just Glitch underwear. That's
Just everybody Winnie the Poohing around here.
I hate that.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
no, thanks.
So back to like some of the personality stuff. Like you said, you grew up watching a lot of Call of Duty YouTube. Like,
sure.
Would you say that there's been certain content creators who have kind of influenced your style? Like, obviously, you're gonna have your own separate personality, but like, who'd you grow up watching? And would you say that you've tried to emulate anybody in your personality?
It's interesting. I feel like a lot of the humor that I have grown to appreciate actually stemmed more from like Newgrounds animation and stuff like that. I've definitely watched COD previously, but I've always enjoyed watching like Oni Plays and Psychic Pebbles, and those creators have gone on to make animated TV shows and worked on video games, and they have their own channels now where they will still do Let's Plays and stuff like that. So I feel like they've broadened their scope, but still brought their personality to it. And I definitely have always enjoyed watching stuff like that a lot more than gameplay. Yeah. And I think that definitely just stems from the fact that I spend so much time playing the game and editing it and stuff like that, that I just don't like want to sit down and watch it outside of that as well. So it's like nothing personal. I love and know a lot of people that make stuff on that game, but it is all consuming.
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
That's a good point. Yeah. How do you detach? What does that look like for you?
Because for us, like when we want to have a night where we're not thinking about anything, we come in here and we fire up Call of Duty.
Sure.
But like that's what you do for work.
Yeah. That's not horrible, I guess, actually.
Which is not like
so
the
you
worst
need to
thing, right?
start an energy drink company.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Just to let the edge off a little bit.
I might just leave and start my own.
Listen, it's not stressful at all.
Start having to look at P&L and all of that fun stuff.
I don't even have to wear pants. No, dude, I'm in. I'm all in. Houston, do you need a job? We're out of here. No.
That's the title of the video. Slade steals our company.
Yeah.
The new CEO.
Slade is the new CEO of Glitch Energy.
Can I still have a job?
Nope.
We can talk about
Slade,
it.
is he fired? Fire him on the spot.
I wish there was a button somewhere that I could hit.
And then I just disappear.
The Austin Powers, like your chair tilts back and the fire just comes up.
I go down to the sharks with freaking lasers on their freaking heads.
I'm severely injured, but I'm not dead.
Oh, gosh. This took a very crazy turn. Speaking of, I don't think we officially announced that Slade's now a creator partner.
Oh, yeah. We probably should have mentioned
Glitch,
that.
which is really dumb of me to not think of. Yeah.
Can
we put this on the front?
Yeah.
Please don't.
Yeah.
Hide that in there.
Welcome to the creator team,
Hey,
Slade.
yeah.
Thanks for having me.
So happy to have you. 250,000 knife kills.
We did recently discuss that.
If that translates to sales, you're the new CEO.
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
go.
Count
No, I'm
me
just
in.
kidding. I'm just
Can we
kidding.
get one sale per knife kill?
Not even close.
Wow, that would, you know what?
That'd be elite.
I'll give you half the company if that happens.
Look, man, I'd be just as excited as you are.
That's
No,
fun.
I'm excited. I appreciate you having me. It's fun to work with people that you have met prior and are like-minded and
Yeah.
excited to, try and make cool things.
We've been sending you product for I think a while now, right? Like
That's true.
when's it? Yeah, it's well, I don't want to step on
Scott
any
works in
toes either.
mysterious
Yeah.
ways, they say.
Yeah,
Dodd works in mysterious ways, they say.
yeah, and no, we're happy to have you. Excited to put this podcast out too, and I think we were like waiting to do this to officially announce it, and I didn't even bring it up at the beginning of the podcast.
No, I
You're
like
the
that.
part-
I feel like that means it was flowing too
Yeah.
well. That's good.
We're gonna have to say it in the title or something for
Yeah.
sure. But,
It's like, why am I here? Nobody knows.
We're just shooting.
we
Got
probably
it.
would have even forgot to do it.
They're
but-
already scraping the bottom of the barrel of people that live in Nashville.
We just found this random guy in the street and decided to have a conversation.
We should. That's a great idea.
I got lost.
And his name is Chandler.
Wait, do people actually know your name under?
all-
Public information. Just kidding. It is. That's fine.
No, is it? Is it really?
Yeah, it is. That's
Okay.
fine.
Well, so when we were recording the first podcast with Tyler, he goes, with my good friend and partner, or business
I
partner.
really goofed.
You had the
Ty-
audacity to say the entire
Tyler-
vlog channel name.
Tyler.
He goes, with Tyler Wine. He goes, wait, are people allowed to know that? He goes, my entire other channel is just my name. It's a personal
Yeah.
vlog.
And I knew all that. I don't know why I said that.
Oh, it's good to tread lightly. For
I put
example, my last
foot in
name is
my
not
mouth.
public knowledge.
I can't
Say
even
it.
remember what it
Say
is.
it out loud right now. You don't even know it.
I'm gonna act like it's like the dolphin sound from SpongeBob.
Oh, there we go.
I had your name in my phone, and then I just changed it to Slade because every time I went to
Good.
go text you, I would look up Slade.
Sure.
I
Most
actually
people
don't have your last. Well, I think somebody does from a deal standpoint, but I don't even know what it is.
It's in the system.
Your last
somewhere.
name is SlayedByBlade in my phone.
Let's
Yeah.
go. Most people call
Chandler
me Slade in
SlayedByBlade.
person.
Yeah.
I'm referred to that more often.
It is wild to me how many people in the gaming community, they don't even like refer to themselves by their names.
It would just feel weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, very weird. Sorry about that.
No, that's
Slade,
fine.
Mr. Slade.
Mr. Blade.
As long as it
Mr.
doesn't happen
Blade.
again, it's fine.
Okay, last question on the gaming side, and then I think we want to do some
Want to do some
new flavor
samples? And
sampling,
I do have
Oh, sure.
and then whatever Scott has, we.
I
Probably
do have
aren't
some
gonna
rapid
do.
fire questions
Oh,
for you.
okay,
Some are more my curiosity, and then we have one question from the Discord chat.
All right,
Oh, yeah, no, I'm good on that.
philosophical question. What does the gaming space look like 10 years from now?
Just AI. Whole thing's AI. We're not even, as a race, we don't even exist. Human beings are
It's just
gone.
robots watching robots play video games.
Correct. Yeah.
Any-
It's just the
as
algorithm going,
specific as
that's
you can
pretty good.
get."
I'm going to recommend that to myself. I'm going to watch that. I'm going to generate ad revenue and then pay myself money in order to create more content for me to watch later.
That sounds like a genius business model.
And it's just one
Free
gear.
money.
It's just one gear turning in the center of the universe. There's nothing else. It's all gone.
Are we living in a simulation?
It's
What are you
Minority
saying?
Report.
No, in this scenario, we are not living at all. We're gone. We don't exist.
Where did we go?
Terminator style.
When I'm on this
apocalypse.
podcast again as a guest, I will have an answer to that.
10 years from now, we're going to interview Slade again.
Wow, they're gonna space it out. Okay, all right.
Every week, we're going to ask you this question on the podcast.
I should be a guest every week.
You should.
I think every time you guys have a guest, that person should be on as the host again for the next episode in a way that, like, you guys don't leave. We just add more microphones and people around the table
We should.
until we're
Yeah.
just packed in here.
We're going to have to buy some more mics.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
We're gonna have 30
Or
people
just
sitting
sit-
around a round
sit
We could
table.
just
really
share
close
one
together.
mic. That'd be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, just pass it around.
Right.
Yeah.
Or not even. Just fight over it.
You know, you should be the new host, actually.
I appreciate that.
You should host a solo podcast for us.
I heard that's what most of the Discord questions were.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
Were
much. One of them was just, how are you doing?
Nah, I've been better.
So I have some questions.
Oh, okay.
I want to know what your favorite spot in Tennessee is. Mostly because I have not explored much around here.
Sure. So wait,
We've
like, you
talked
just mean visually, or you mean like food wise?
You know what? Give me visual, give me food, give me brewery.
Ooh, okay. We'll start with the brewery. Tailgate, but
Oh yeah.
you know, like the one out on the hill, you know, with like some scenery, not the one in East. Just, I mean, you know, they're both great, but it's kind of nice to just get some fresh air. So
I like it.
yeah, that's really nice. Umami makes great Korean fried chicken.
Ooh.
So
I don't know that I've
Shout
ever
out.
had Korean fried chicken.
I haven't, but that
we
sounds
should
like-
literally go right
incredible.
after this.
Where's it at?
Nolansville.
Where's Nolansville?
45 minutes from here. I'm going to get it on the way home and they don't get any. So, anyways, and then visually, I mean, I don't know. I like walking around Centennial Park. It's
Okay.
nice, you know. The Parthenon's cool for people who actually haven't like lived here for a long time. I feel like, you know, it probably gets old after a while, but
Yeah, I feel like if you're from Nashville, like that's probably not a spot that you go to a ton. But if
Sure.
you're visiting, like it's pretty cool to see.
I thought
Yeah.
that was in Greece.
I want to headbutt you sometimes.
why would John Travolta be anywhere near Parthenon?
Gosh. That's a great movie, by the way.
Speaking of food, have you been to Jack Brown Burger?
No, everybody keeps recommending it to me and I still
Can
haven't
we go
gone.
do
How
that?
not?
Can we go to Jack Brown
Because
Burger?
Tyler keeps saying he wants to go, and then I still haven't been. But I was just like, well, I'm going to wait to go. Until
I swear to
we all
God,
go.
Jack Brown Burger is the best burger in like just a bar style restaurant you'll ever have.
This is how much
No, it's the best burger you'll
respect
ever
I have for a recommendation from someone. I have physically been to that location, and I have ordered drinks, but I still haven't eaten there because I was like, well, I'm going to eat this whenever I'm
Wow.
with the person that recommended it.
That's
Wow.
more loyalty than I've ever heard of.
Wow.
I'm
And
amazed.
that's why I've been signed
And who
on
recommended
as a
it?
partner in the
Damn straight.
Wait, who recommended it? Was it Tyler?
well, okay, yeah.
The last question I have for you, just purely out of curiosity, after watching your videos, what's the best insult you've ever gotten? Because most of the kids who are like terrible at Call of Duty will just spit out the most random crap.
Sure.
I want to know what's the best insult, like one that actually made you like sit back and like laugh to yourself.
Two come to mind.
Beautiful.
I hope frogs lay tadpoles in your pool. And your grandmother makes dry biscuits,
Wow.
Not grandma.
both of
that's
which were
awful.
taken to heart, and I
Yeah.
will find those people.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah,
find them.
seriously.
I've actually bumped into those people more than once in games, and they will reference it because I respected it so much that I was like, "You're that guy."
You got to send him a glitter bomb.
I should send them a firm handshake. They got me. I had nothing to say. I sat there and I went, "The biscuits were dry."
Dude, you got to put that on a t-shirt for the next merch
Your
drop.
grandma makes dry biscuits.
That's how you beat trash talk, by the way. Anytime somebody says, "I'm gonna do," you put it on a shirt and you sell it, and you go, "Oh, thank you so much."
Yeah, thank you for the idea. Thanks for the cash.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yep.
Yeah.
Deuces.
And now I'm in court.
As long as they don't trademark or copyright it, you're fine.
Should we try some sampling?
We should try some sampling.
Got something coming out very soon.
Oh,
Like
Like
next week. When they
Yeah.
hear this, it'll probably be this week.
sometime soon.
sure.
It might even be out by the
On
time.
this day.
There's a
Yeah.
good chance
We
it's out.
already launched
It's
it.
right
This
now.
is like, I might not be able to edit it that fast necessarily.
Okay. Today.
Oh no.
Last week.
Get our 8 ounces of water in here.
Is that still kind of cold? Wow.
What?
What way?
Whiskey!
That was really well timed.
We spend too much time together, is what I've just gathered in that moment.
Is this a hydration?
This is hydration.
Okay. I'm going to request a little more water than that, if I'm being honest.
No.
Because that's going to taste very syrupy.
Nope.
Okay. Request denied.
I'll throw more water on top.
Okay. Thank you.
When I retch, please edit that out from the serving.
When Scott first mixed some stuff up, he put the powder in before the water.
I still do that sometimes.
That's kind of weird because then I feel like you can't get like the water measurement right either because it's like
Yeah.
displacing it.
Listen, I just
Can we
wing it.
debunk that right now?
Listen,
That's
even
the wrong
like
way to do it.
so I love cooking, and most of the time I don't use any kind of recipe. I just kind of wing it as I go, and I go based off of flavor.
So you're a bad cook.
No, I'm a great cook. Dude, I was bragging about this the other day. I perfected buffalo chicken mac and cheese.
Oh.
But I make it in a meathead way. I don't use any like nope. Yeah, well,
Sorry.
It's just boiled chicken.
Yeah. Boiled chicken.
no, so I don't use like cream. I don't use cream cheese. I use vanilla Greek yogurt. So it's like extra protein.
Sure.
And then I use chickpea pasta. So it's extra protein in the pasta with the
Gotcha.
carbs. So you're probably getting like 60 grams of carbs,
Yeah, it
or
would
60,
be
60
bulky.
grams of protein in a meal and like 40 grams of carbs. Very little fat. The only fat's the cheese. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
We'll have to test that out one day.
One.
All right.
I'm making a big batch tonight.
So this is
Unless we go to Jack
see if
Brown
you can guess the flavor.
I think I told him the flavor already.
Gosh dang it.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Wait, before you do that though.
We have
every
to use
new
all
guest
5
podcast.
senses.
Well, yeah, and then you're gonna have to take your first sip with the mini hands. So
Dude, I have such shaky hands by default. This is so bad.
I spilled all over myself the other day when I tried this.
it's fairly easy to do.
It's not.
Or we can make Scott do it again. There we go.
I'm kind of keen on that.
I want to move your phone.
Nope.
Oh, he's gotten way back. Bro, the lip comes out. Look
Yeah,
at his
that's
it's the tongue.
got like a little runway there.
Bro, you spill that on Slade's merch. Don't you dare.
That's
I
okay.
won't.
You already
I
paid
won't.
for it.
Wow, look at that.
Foolproof.
Pro.
Nice.
Can I have those for a second?
They can't stop laughing. Thank you.
Excellent work.
It's a great sound, by the way.
It was kind of
Oh,
more
he's
pleasant
going
than I
for it.
anticipated.
Going for it.
You really gotta, you gotta get into it.
Nice.
Wow.
Can I see those for a
Oh,
second?
yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Meanwhile, Jacob just
Please,
picks it up and
please.
takes it.
Thank you. Coward.
Okay, you suck.
Coward.
Nope, you gotta do it on the next one.
Okay. No, that's
When
Yeah.
I'm here again.
the odds are worse on the next one.
Wait, we need another. We need another.
Wow,
'Cause
was
we-
that peach rings, by the way?
It
Yes.
was, and we're gonna bleep that out.
Yeah. Well,
Unless-
I mean,
unless
it's
people
in
know.
the name.
Yeah.
The flavor's called plasmic peach.
So
Oh.
when we do this, we want to make sure that we use all 5 of our senses. So we want to get a good,
Which
good
are?
smell.
What about
Gotcha.
the sixth one?
No, we don't use the 6th sense. He's already dead. Like
So.
it doesn't work that way. So we get a good smell.
Use code SLADE, by the
Does that work yet? Is that a thing?
It should.
way. It will be.
Oh,
It
okay,
should
nice.
be. It
All
better be when this comes out.
Yeah.
Or else we're doing something very wrong here.
You know, no pressure.
Okay.
Wow, this
You
has
gotta-
legs to it.
You got to hear it.
That you'd hold it up to the mic, not your headphone, correct? No, am I crazy?
That's a good point. It's got a great sound to it.
Here, hold on. Lean in. Ready? Peach rings!
The sound is incredible.
Wow.
We're adding an extra hour to my editing.
No, just let it clip.
Just leave in the
Let it
peaking,
clip.
that'd be
Yeah.
fine. Okay, what's our next?
Yeah,
one?
what's-
the
what's
feel?
the next sense?
Mouth
Oh,
feel.
mouthfeel.
yeah.
Mouthfeel.
Creamy.
All 10,000 taste buds.
That's a 10.
I forgot about that clip.
That's a 10 out of 10. So we got flavor, we've got feel, texture, we've got. It looks great. That's all I can say.
It does.
It's
It looks
pink.
nice.
The color matches the flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's a 10.
I don't think peaches
Don't
are
read into
pink,
it.
though.
Don't read into
The
it.
outside is.
It's more like an orange.
The inside is. The outside is that like
The outside's like a red.
burgundy,
And an
pinkish
orange.
color.
The stem is
Outside
pink.
changes. It's not like
Yeah.
consistent.
I don't
It's
see
not
any fur
fuzzy,
in
so
here.
that's
Yeah,
good.
I don't
Yeah.
see any fuzzes. So mouthfeel doesn't feel like a peach in your mouth.
Honestly, if you did release it with just like a little bit of like pulp or something in order to feel like it had fur to it, I would have to leave.
Okay.
That is very good though.
Yeah.
Goes
Ooh.
without saying.
The sound of the water into the mic is gonna be fun.
Nice.
I want to fight you right now. Jesus.
That sounds inappropriate, actually.
If people have made it this far, God bless them. Is all I can say.
Oh, I thought we were just hanging out now.
All right, this one you may have
There's
tried
more?
this one. But
I think
We've
you've tried this one
before.
already, but we're gonna double down on it.
Sounds good. Oh wow.
Good. You
Extra
like it?
cups for the second. You know, you don't want to cross contaminate. I really respect
Absolutely
that.
not.
No.
I
You
mean,
get a
y'all splurged
full
like
feel.
that.
And the red Solo cups too, because we're
Just
bougie.
looking at this, I can tell it tastes like Smarties.
Sewer water?
It is a rough color.
I mean,
It looks healthy.
It is very. It's very.
it actually is.
It's great for your eye health too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's the only hint that people are getting.
Can we tell them what's in it or no?
Stuff that's green.
Well, no, I'm not saying like giving them the formula. Can we tell them like the fun, similar to like dynamine and choline and huperzine? Can we tell them what that is or no? The eye health part.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, from an eye health ingredient standpoint, zeaxanthin and lutein, which is really good for your eyes.
Nice, great insight.
Yeah. Good for eyes.
I really have broken down like understanding how dynamine works because I think it's so interesting,
Yeah.
which we talked about on episode 2.
Dynamine. Good
Which I did
for
watch.
eyes, too.
Really?
No.
Is that real?
No. All right.
Jesus.
How many senses are we using this week?
I think all 6.
Wait.
Smells green.
It does smell green.
Man, that's so good.
I do
It's
like it.
it sneaks up on you.
Yeah.
You smell it and you're like, oh, that smells healthy.
The
You
smell
drink
of
it,
it
you're
is,
like, that tastes amazing.
It doesn't
How?
taste how it smells.
No.
But it doesn't smell bad.
No,
It
it's just like,
it smells.
it's fresh. It smells
Yeah.
fresh.
wow.
But the flavor, yeah, the aftertaste. I would say like with this product, most of the time the aftertaste is just straight trash.
Like for the space in general, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
like
that's
that
fair.
vertical, yeah.
yeah. Like as it sits on your tongue longer, like it starts to taste weirder and weirder. But
Sure.
like the aftertaste in this is pretty solid.
It's consistent.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
I'm a big fan.
A little high off our own supply right now, but it is very good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't wait for this. to
Now
drop.
Slade's paid to say that, so he has to say it's good.
I have no biases whatsoever, but that is incredible.
I have been working on the formula though, and that's probably when it comes to like my geeking out in like the health space, being able to geek out on creating the formula for this has been so much fun.
I
Like
bet.
the research and development aspect of things.
It's like a playground.
Honestly,
Yeah,
like I love it.
I bet. Well, you're doing a great job, dude.
Thank
Give
you.
me a little more of that.
Top you off real quick. Slade, you want more?
We're gonna have to, we're all gonna drink it with the straws this time to
I don't
close
want-
it out.
I don't wanna do
Yeah,
that.
No, we have
I
to.
don't wanna do
Siphon
that.
gasoline out of these cups.
Get your straw.
I don't want.
There you go.
You have to do it.
Yep.
That's
There you
fair.
go. All the way, bend it all the way out, please, for me.
I'm gonna garnish my microphone.
That's nice.
You like that?
All right.
I just wanted them to hear it coming through the straw.
I can't. I'm gonna throw up.
Now that sounds like something else, I think. The sixth sense is straw feel.
Oh my god!
Straw feel.
Oh,
That about came out of my face.
dude, that was. Oh,
yeah, I
you
lost
leaked.
it. I lost it. I leaked a little bit.
I've always been
Wow.
considered a pretty tidy guy.
Okay.
My face hurts.
That was a lot harder than what I thought it was
Yeah,
gonna be.
I was not expecting because once the sound hit the headphones, I couldn't contain it anymore. I'm sweating right now.
Oh, okay. Well, Slade, do you have any more questions for us?
Now we start the interview process for him. How much do you make a year before taxes?
Oh,
Was that to Slade or me?
I don't pay taxes. It's obviously you.
I'm quoting Step Brothers. Is it Pam or Pam?
Prestige worldwide.
My question is, who's the next guest?
Who should it be? Leave a like and comment who the next guest should be if you make it this far, which by YouTube analytics, probably 90% of people that watch this podcast aren't going to make it to the end, maybe more than that. So for the 10 of you that are left here, leave a comment on who should be.
7% of you are subscribed.
No, who should be next?
We've talked about maybe doing one with Larry. We're trying to get Scotty on here. but we might wait until Scotty comes in town next time. Larry should be coming in town in November.
See, that's so cool. Like, I like the idea of finding out who the guest is, and then I'm like, oh, cool, it's somebody I can hang out with.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
actually fun.
I mean, you tell us. 'Cause
There's
you're
a good-
hosting this from your
yeah.
house.
Oh, that's true, actually. Okay.
There's a good chance that we do one with Larry, maybe virtual, and then another one when he comes in town. But we're still kind of
Feeling it out.
we're kind of shooting from the hip, to be completely
I
honest.
should have done one with pasta while she was here.
I know,
We
I
tried
think
to.
that.
She didn't have enough time.
She's a busy gamer.
Yeah, when she just got back from Europe too.
Sure.
Yeah, she's been all over the place.
Yeah, and getting mugged in Paris. It's nutty.
All right, leave us with a quote to wrap things up that we're gonna use in the thumbnail.
Ugh.
No, I'm just kidding.
This SMG is overpowered. I hate that.
Use a gun, you noob.
We're gonna use it like a thought bubble in the thumbnail.
Not
Just
a
gonna
fan.
quote. This is gonna be on the thought bubble in the thumbnail.
If I was good at clickbaiting, I'd have more viewers. That's what the quote should be.
That's it. Yeah.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed trying out these new flavors and also reliving the traumatic experiences of my past.
Oh. I never know how to close out the podcast.
That was it.
David.
It's over.
That's it.
It's
yeah.
already done.
Okay.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Cut that part out.
Thanks for drinking the flavors.
Cut
with
that
us.
part out too.
It's
Any other flavor request? We might make them. We might not.
Leave that part in.
Yeah.
Jamie, can you pull that up?
We should see how long we can do this outro. It just goes another hour. Cut
Hey,
it.
Houston.
Cut it. Jack, get in here and close us out.
Absolutely not.
Hold on, what was that?
I'm not moving from this chair. I'm gonna throw my phone at you. I'm not grabbing the microphone.
We need at least 9 more
Pound
cloud
it.
lifters for this to
Noggin.
work properly.
Dude,
Dude,
All right, that's it.
deuces.
this was fun.